Now we have Phoenix by Mafex. This is number 218. She looks excellent, and this is before we even take her out of the box. So this is a nice colourful box, standard Mafex box, but you can see just how colourful this box is. So for anybody who likes to display their boxes, this one's definitely going to stand out on your shelf. Can't wait to have a look at this one. So first of all, when you're buying these, just to make sure that it is a genuine Mafex that you've bought, you'll get this inside the box. And you get a QR code which you can scan, and it'll let you know that it is a genuine Mafex figure. And also on the box you want to look for this sticker. And now that that's out the way, we're going to have a look at the figure. Now already I think that I like these colours a lot more than I like the standard X-Men colours on the Jean Grey figure. We will compare the two so you can see them stood side by side, but these colours, the gold and the green, they look fantastic. Now we get 2 extra heads. We get this extra belt, which when you put that on, it's going to look like that's blowing in the wind. So you can get some nice action poses. A pair of open hands. Another pair of open hands, but they're more of a relaxed open hand. And then we get a pair of fist hands. And we get a figure stand. So as with most imports, she comes with all of this protective plastic that needs to be removed when you get her out of the box. It just stops any paint rub. Sometimes it can be a bit of a nightmare to remove, but I'd rather that they did put that on there, because the last thing you want is any paint rub on your figure, any QC issues and things like that. You know, you pay a lot of money for these, so it's nice to see Mafex and other import companies, you know, going those extra miles, taking those extra measures just to make sure that the figure arrives in as good of condition as it can. And there she is, and she looks fantastic. I swear Mafex are getting much better with these releases. Every time they're releasing these figures, I think that by every release they're getting a little bit better, and the paintwork on this is just fantastic. What I'm going to do is fetch in Jean Grey. So there's Jean Grey in the X-Men colours, so you can see side by side what they look like together. And I honestly do think that I like the Phoenix version better. I like the colours better. So you can see the metallic blue on the matte yellow for Jean Grey, whereas you've got the metallic gold gloves and gold boots, the gold belt, and the green on the suit is matte. This is also a matte finish. And you can see the obvious difference with the colours of the hair. So Phoenix has this very deep red, whereas the Jean Grey has that dark brown hair. Now in the Phoenix you can see she's got these orange highlights. Now they just make the hair stand out a lot more. So she's got this deep red hair with the orange highlights, and it's given off that flame effect. And that face sculpt is so good. There's no issues with the paint. So yeah, stood side by side with Jean Grey. Both of them are excellent figures, but I really do think I'm preferring the colours of Phoenix. Right then, so we'll have a closer look at the details. So again, a quick look at the face. And there's the emblem on her chest. Again, it's a matte finish, and a matte finish on the costume. And the contrast with the matte finish to the metallic gold on the belt and the gloves, it just stands out really nice. The details come across really nice on this figure. You can see the light shining off the metallic. And she looked good in the promo photos and when we seen the prototype that they had on display. But I think she looks better when you get her in hand than what we were shown. So here is one of the extra heads that we get. This would be the civilian head. So this would be the head that you would use when she's not in any conflict. If we compare this to the head that she comes with inside the box, you can see on this, she's got those whited out eyes, as if she's using her superpowers. Whereas with this extra head, she just has those normal pupils. And again with this one, you can see the orange highlights in the hair. Those highlights do stand out a lot more when you've got her in hand. the colour isn't coming across quite as good on the camera from what I can see looking at the figure in hand. So this is the other head that we get. This is the more iconic look for Phoenix. So you can see that she's probably using her superpowers with this head. Now the hair is a lot more wavy on this one. So comparing it to one of the other heads that we get, you can see the difference there. Now you'll probably want to use the other belt. Now I'm not going to take the figure apart, but this is what the other belt would look like. So we don't get loads of extras with Phoenix, but I think what we do get, we are able to create some unique poses. So we don't get no special effects or any fire effects or anything like that. But I feel like with the belt and with the extra heads, we are able to create some unique poses with this figure. So on articulation, if you have the Jean Grey figure, then she does have exactly the same construction as Jean Grey. So she does have basically a standard Mafex construction for female figures. So you can see that we have a bicep swivel there. She has no issues with the shoulders. Now you can see that the hair at the back is going to stop you being able to look up with this figure. So that's about the most that we can get with this head, but it will vary with the different heads that she comes with. So you will be able to get a bit more range with, you know, some of the other heads that she has. This belt is rubber, so it's made from a really bendy material, so that's not going to get in the way, as well as this crotch piece here, that's made from a softer rubber, so you can see that when you bend the legs or you lift the legs up by the hip, that's not getting in the way. She does also have drop down hips, so if you want a bit more range, then you just drop down the hips and that'll allow you to get the legs right up. This just shows you just how flexible these figures are. And she can do the full splits. So absolutely no issues with articulation with Phoenix. She can do everything that you would want her to do. And there's nothing on this figure that's going to get in the way. Nothing's going to hinder posability. And the joints feel absolutely solid. I've had no issues with any of the joints. Nothing's stuck. Nothing's fallen off. The construction is solid. So here are the other X-Men that I've got from Mafex. There is still a few that I need to pick up. I still need to pick up Storm. It's not the X-Men without Storm, so why I haven't picked Storm up yet, I really don't know. I do need to pick up Magneto, but he's really hard to get, so I'm hoping that we're going to get a reissue of Magneto. Psylocke, I still need to pick up Psylocke. But yeah, we do have a few coming. So they've announced Rogue, she looks fantastic, and they've also just announced Jubilee. So they're still available. Well, Rogue's available for pre-order. But here's Phoenix. So Phoenix gets added to the X-Men collection from Mafex. And I think that this is just a fantastic figure. One thing that I will say is regarding the villains. Now, I think Mafex need to start putting out some X-Men villains. You know, we're getting all of these. You know, we've got Gambit, Cyclops, Wolverine. Now we've got Phoenix. We'll probably get Dark Phoenix because it's just an alternative colour. We might get some accessories with that figure. Let's see. But in terms of villains, I'm just wondering when we're going to get Sabretooth. You know, Juggernaut. There's loads of villains that we could be getting. But it looks to be that they're focusing more on the X-Men as opposed to giving us some villains. But, you know, we've got Magneto. We do need some villains for this line. Now, I can't imagine when they go in the boardroom and they're discussing what characters that they're going to come out with next. I can't imagine nobody in there says, you know, Magneto didn't work alone. Sabretooth, Juggernaut. You know, my personal favourite is Sauron. You know, that figure from the 90s was my favourite X-Men figure that I had. I like Banshee as well. So there's loads of figures that they could get around to doing, which I hope that they do get around to doing, because I'm loving this X-Men line. This is one of my favourite lines that I'm collecting, and I held off from collecting Mafex for a long time. But since I've jumped into these are tremendous figures. I think that they're getting better by each figure that they fetch out. This Phoenix figure is phenomenal. She's really, really nice. And my personal opinion, I think I prefer this Phoenix over the Jean Grey figure that we got. We're going to fetch her in. You know, I know that we wouldn't get two Jean Greys in the same room. Well, we would, but you know, no spoilers. Anyway, so yeah, so thanks for watching this one. That's going to do it for Mafex Phoenix, and hopefully next time I do one of these, I should have Storm, and hopefully I've got Magneto, and I might even have Psylocke in there as well. Rogue, Jubilee, they look fantastic.